Ever feel like you're winning in place? Like you're trying to get ahead, but
Stuck.
yeah, stuck in the same spot.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're tackling today. We're going deep on escaping the poverty trap,
The
but
psychology of it.
yes, those mental things, those patterns that can really hold anyone back.
It's like, it goes deeper than just, finances, right?
Oh, absolutely.
This source, Escaping the Poverty Trap, 4 key pitfalls and pathways to prosperity. They call them traps.
I love that.
It's kind of catchy, right? We'll look at why are they so powerful and how to escape them.
Yeah, how to get out of those traps.
All
Okay,
right.
so are you ready? Because you might recognize yourself in some of these.
Oh, yeah.
The first one is called the garbage trap.
Mm,
I just love that name.
it's so true, though.
Well, it's so true. We've all been there. A little extra cash comes in and
Right.
gone. Like, what did I do with that? It's gone on stuff I didn't even know I needed 5 minutes ago.
And it's not just even impulse buying. I think it's deeper than that, right? It's like, why do we crave that new phone?
Yes.
Why do we need the fancy coffee maker when the old one works just fine? I mean, it's,
Oh, I know.
it's this validation thing,
Yeah,
right?
and keeping up
Yes.
with the Joneses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We want to feel like we measure up to something, to some standard out there.
And you know who knows that? Those marketing people, those wizards.
They
They know how to make us feel like we are less than if we don't have it.
Exactly.
So, there you go.
So how do we escape this one? The book talks about this, the 30-day rule.
Okay.
So basically, you hit pause before you buy something that's not essential.
Oh, I like that.
Like, give yourself a month,
Yeah, just breathe.
do you really need it? Or is it just that, like, I want it now?
That dopamine.
Yes.
That instant gratification.
It's like having a fight with someone and then just, going to buy something.
Yes, don't do it.
You need that cooling off period.
You need that space. That's such a good point. That space between want and buy.
Yes.
Make better decisions in that space.
Much better.
But you know what else?
So what's that?
The book also talks about, the good old budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Budgeting. It's not about you can't have anything.
Deprivation.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about, do you want that little high of a new gadget?
Right.
Or do you want to maybe invest that money in something that's more enriching? An experience, a course.
Something meaningful. Something that lasts.
Yes.
Okay, the next trap, I'm going to admit, this one I struggle with.
Okay.
It's called the pacifier trap.
The pacifier trap.
And it's that pull toward easy entertainment.
Uh-huh.
Video games.
Yeah.
Endless scrolling, binge watching, anything to just kind of check out of reality for a little bit.
Mhm.
And we all need that, right? We need to unwind. But
It's when it becomes the coping mechanism.
That's it.
That's when it becomes the trap.
that's the trap.
And, I mean, think about it. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure, right?
Right.
And those quick hits of dopamine from, scrolling, watching videos, they're designed to keep us hooked.
And the algorithms, don't even get me started.
Oh, I know.
They know exactly what to serve up to keep you there.
They know.
Like they are just waiting.
Oh, yeah. Preying on us.
Totally.
On that desire to escape.
Yeah. So how do we combat that? How do we get out of that trap? Because they do give some suggestions in the book.
Well, they talk about, really being mindful about what we're consuming.
Yes.
Right? Like, are the things that you're choosing to do in your downtime, are they actually aligning with, like, your big goals?
Yeah, with your value.
Your values?
What you really want.
Or is it just truly just to avoid something else?
Just to numb out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of actually recharging and coming back.
So it's that difference between numbing out
Yes.
and truly recharging.
Yes.
The book suggests setting boundaries, which it's like,
Easier said than done.
oh my gosh, that's so hard. But even small boundaries.
Small boundaries.
They say, like, instead of reaching for your phone first thing in the morning, what if you dedicated even 15 minutes to reading something inspiring or just enjoying a quiet cup of coffee?
Just that little bit of space. It's funny, how that desire to escape can kind of come out in different ways. Like we talked about the pacifier trap, right?
Right. Zoning out.
Yeah, it's like zoning out. But then there's this rat race trap. And this one I think is, you're busy, but...
Busy, but not productive.
Exactly.
It's like that feeling of being on a hamster wheel. You're running and running and running.
Yeah.
And you're working so hard, but you're not really...
Going anywhere.
Yeah, you're not really getting anywhere meaningful.
And you don't even have the space to think.
No. You're so, like, head down, just trying to make it to tomorrow.
And the source was saying that, this dizziness, it can actually...
It's barrier.
Yeah, it's like a barrier to, like, actually getting out of
Escaping poverty.
Yeah, escaping poverty. It's like you're so busy trying to keep your head above water.
You can't even, they use this analogy in the book.
Oh, was it?
They said you're so busy keeping your head above water that you can't even think about learning to swim.
It's so true.
It's like you're in survival mode. It's really hard to thrive when you're just
getting by.
barely getting by.
And I think, it's interesting how society kind of feeds into that too, right?
100%.
Like we're supposed to be productive. We're supposed to have a side hustle. We're supposed to be busy all the time.
And if you're not,
You're not enough.
you're lazy. You're not enough. And then we wear that busyness like a badge of honor.
Oh, it's a status symbol, right?
Like, oh, you think you're busy? Let me tell you how busy I am.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we get caught in that trap. And it's funny because the book talks about the importance of carving out time for introspection.
Introspection, which is like the opposite of that, right?
It's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But that seems impossible when you're in that rat race.
Well, even little bits, right?
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
What if you just took like 15 minutes in the morning?
Yeah, just to be quiet.
Just to kind of sit with your thoughts.
Or maybe, what do you like to do? Journal.
Journaling. I love to journal.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like process things.
Yeah. And they talk about continuous learning,
Oh, yeah.
which I love. They're like, it doesn't have to be formal education.
Yeah.
But just cultivating a curious mind.
Yes.
Reading, exploring.
Yeah, like expanding, like you're expanding what you
know.
Yes.
Which is so important.
Yeah.
I think we forget that sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we get out of school and we're like, I'm done learning. But
Learning is forever.
it's a lifelong thing. And I think it's so important, especially when we were talking about, these different traps and escaping poverty, because
And it gives you more options.
it gives you options.
Yeah.
Okay, should we move on to the last trap?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this one's called, it's a very interesting name, it's called the Shawshank Trap.
The Shawshank Trap.
Okay, the Shawshank Redemption.
Right, from the movie.
Yes. And it's that idea of we find this weird comfort in familiarity.
Yeah, I mean,
Even if it's not good for us.
even when we know deep down, it's like, this isn't actually what I want,
Right.
but it's what I know.
It's what I know. And it's I think sometimes we stay
It's safe.
because it's safe.
Yeah.
But the source really emphasizes that to really, grow.
You gotta break free,
You got to get out of the comfort zone.
because that's where the magic happens, right?
That's where the magic happens. But how?
Yeah.
How do we get out of that? It's like, that saying, a ship in the harbor is safe. But that's not what ships are built for.
Oh, I love that.
It's so easy to just get kind of comfortable and stay there.
Right. But staying stuck there in that comfort zone, it's like it almost makes it harder
To get out of
to escape poverty. Because you're not even trying anything new.
You're not taking those risks.
Exactly.
Calculated risks.
Well, and it becomes a cycle too, right?
So it does.
Because the longer you stay in that little comfort zone,
Yeah.
the scarier it is to leave.
It's so true.
It's like, oh, I haven't done anything new in so long.
Because it feels so big then.
It does. It feels huge. When really breaking free, I think, from that Shawshank trap, it's about,
Baby steps.
yeah, like proving to yourself, I can handle a little discomfort
Yes.
and I'm going to come out stronger on the other side.
So it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to quit my job and go live in a different country.
It actually can be like, I'm going to take a different route to work.
Yes.
I'm going to try a new recipe, just something small to shake it up a bit.
Exactly. And every time you do, it's like you're rewiring your brain a little bit,
Yeah.
You're showing yourself, I'm capable of more than I thought.
I love that. And this whole conversation, it's really shifted my perspective, I think, on poverty.
In what way?
It's so easy to just focus on the financial part of it, right?
Right.
But these traps, they show you it's so much deeper than that.
It's the mental game.
It's the mental game.
It's huge.
It's these patterns that we don't even realize we're stuck in.
And sometimes just recognizing them is huge.
Yeah.
Because once you see it, it's like, oh, okay, I can work with this.
You can change it.
Right.
You're not powerless.
You have the power. That's so good.
So good.
Okay, so we covered a lot today. We talked about the garbage trap, the pacifier trap, the rat race trap, and the Shawshank trap. If you had to pick one key takeaway for our listeners,
Oh, that's tough.
what would you want to leave them with?
I think for me, the biggest thing is realizing that escaping any of these traps, it starts with your mindset.
It always does.
It really does. It's like, are you letting your circumstances define you? Or are you choosing thoughts and behaviors that are going to, help you create the life you want?
I love that. Taking ownership.
Yeah.
You have more power than you think you do. So here's a thought for you to kind of chew on. Which of these traps really resonated with you?
Yeah, which one are you stuck in?
And maybe this week, what's one little thing, a baby step you can take to start breaking free?
It doesn't have to be huge.
Even the tiniest thing can make a difference. So go out there
and break free.
Break free.